After a year as the scene, two new executive producers, Alex Hoover and Ashley Zastro, took over the show. Alex had been with the show since the Take-Two days and wanted to return to the format, focusing more on Hollywood and the national entertainment scene. Because they wanted to keep the show moving forward, Alex and Ashley decided not to return to the name Take-Two, but begin anew. And with that, in the fall of 2005, The Real Deal premiered.
Hi, and welcome back to The Real Deal, Muncie's one and only movie review show. I'm Jen Dickey.
And I'm Jackie Wilson. As you know, this past week was the Golden Globes. Alex Hoover and Katie Day will be taking a look at the fashion trends from this year's Golden Globes award ceremony.
Okay, now for my worst. Number one was Rachel Weisz. This Constant Gardener actress looked a little like a Christmas present with a huge bow that came just about a month too late. Number two was Mary Louise Parker. This actress, who stars in the Showtime series Weeds, looked overly frumpy and had a greasy side ponytail that was just disgusting. And when asked why she dressed that way, she simply answered, "I'm from New York." What kind of an excuse is that?
S. Empatha Merkson is a relatively unknown actress who won a Golden Globe Award. And let's see what she wore. Gross. Scarlett Johansson, she looks like she's auditioning for Baywatch. Maybe Scarlett and Pam should have switched dresses. It probably would have helped both actresses. I don't mind seeing Scarlett showing off what God gave her, but this just isn't the place. And finally, I have Marcia Cross on my list. She just reminds me of death. I mean, it's nothing to do with her dress. I'm sure the dress was great on her, but she looks like Skeletor. She just seems to have a pale and skinny and bony look. She should really wear darker colors to give her contrast rather than the zombie look. I hope she doesn't eat my brains.
And I think a lot of people who will see this movie, a lot of people, well, they'll have racist thoughts or like maybe racist comments. You don't see a lot of these, outright racist diatribes in real life. And I think it actually creates a disconnect between, the real world of racism and what Paul Haggis here is trying to create.
Well, as with every movie, I mean, things are overemphasized and things are, almost superfluous. But I think in this point, I mean, he's just trying to get his point across. And he did that just by making it almost, like you said, like you'd have to disconnect and stop and think about it and see, well, that made me think, have I ever seen anything like this in the real world? And I actually have, and it almost seems a little out of this world when you actually hear somebody say like that or say something like that, because you can never really imagine anybody having those beliefs or thoughts. But I don't know, I think that's what made the movie, that's what made me identify with the movie, was those actual, when you had to stop and concentrate on it and focus on it and think about it.
Once Marcus gets out of jail, Majestic expects Marcus to become his main man again, but can't believe it when Marcus turns the offer down. This angers Majestic, who then sets up the legendary 9 shots to the face that opened up the movie. Amazingly, Marcus only survives the gunshots, but with the help from his main squeeze in the movie, Charlene, Joy Bryant, fights back to get into the rapping game. From here, he starts a word war with Majestic's rap superstar Junebug, Mofo Coho, and the movie takes many twists and turns. The only feature for the DVD is a behind-the-scenes look at the film, which is very disappointing since he's a music star and all. Overall, 50 Cent's big screen debut could be best described as a good attempt, but falls short when compared to Eminem's 8 Mile. There's some parts where it just doesn't feel like 50 is completely there, but if you really want to watch a gangster movie that includes drugs, shootouts, and some soft porn with 50 Cent, then this movie's for you. If not, then maybe you should pass on this one. With that said, I'm Kenny S. Shouting it back to you, Jackie. Holla.
Hello, I'm Bernardo Madrigal. Opening in a theater near you tomorrow in wide release are 3 films: Stay Alive starring One Tree Hill Sophia Bush, The OC's Samir Armstrong, and Malcolm in the Middle's Frankie Muniz, Inside Man starring Denzel Washington, Jodie Foster and Clive Owen, and Larry the Cable Guy Health Inspector starring none other than Larry the Cable Guy. Stay Alive tells the story of a group of gamer friends who discover a game called Stay Alive about a 17th century noblewoman called the Black Countess. As the gamers continue playing the game, they soon find out that as a character dies in the game, The person playing dies the same way. Will the gamers make it to the end of the game, or will the Black Countess take their lives?
The 2005 Academy Award nominees were announced this morning, and Brokeback Mountain led the pack with 8 nominations, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, and Best Supporting Actress. The other nominees for Best Picture include George Clooney's Good Night and Good Luck, Steven Spielberg's Munich, Bennett Miller's Capote, and Paul Higgis's sleeper hit Crash. Each of the Best Picture nominees received a corresponding director's nomination.
Now let's find out whether or not the classic movie of the week is worth a rent.
Here's Jeff Lobb with a look back at the classics.
Hi, I'm Jeff Lobb, and this week we're going to be taking a long look back all the way to the silent era with Buster Keaton's classic comedy, Sherlock Jr. This movie follows the story of a young movie projectionist as he aspires to become a detective and win the heart of his lovely lady. However, his romantic pursuits are foiled when the local sheik frames Keaton for stealing a pocket watch from the girl's father. Keaton uses this theft as an opportunity to brush up on his detective skills and win the heart of the lady.
Capote has garnered 5 Oscar nominations, and Philip Seymour Hoffman is considered by many critics to be a frontrunner for the Best Actor Oscar. The movie follows the 6-year period of writer Truman Capote's life when he was writing his classic nonfiction crime novel, In Cold Blood. A family of 4 is brutally murdered in a small Kansas town, and Capote travels to the town to write on the tragic events. He's accompanied by his longtime friend and fellow author Harper Lee, played by Catherine Keener, most recently seen as Steve Carell's love interest in The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Capote's peculiar speech and odd mannerisms at first put him at odds with the town, but the citizens eventually open up to him, including the sheriff, played by Chris Cooper.
Now with us is Charles Shilley with Movie Mayhem.
Hi, I'm Charles Shilley, and I hope you had a good Thanksgiving because this week Movie Mayhem is going back for leftovers. Out in theaters now is Rent. 8 out of 10 people surveyed at theaters said they got aged just by watching the previews.
The comic book turned summer blockbuster hit Fantastic Four finally made its way into DVD with a question in mind. Can the movie be a fantastic Christmas gift? The plot follows its comic book counterpart as Reed Richards, played by Anne Griffith, Victor Van Doom, played by Julian McMahon, Ben Grimm, played by Michael Chiklis, Susan Storm, played by Jessica Alba, and Johnny Storm, played by Chris Evans, head up to space to find the cures for diseases and cosmic storms. Things go wrong, though, as the cosmic rays from the storm leak inside of the ship, affecting the shipmates. Eventually, the 5 realize they've gained some form of magical powers, either it be Susan Storm's ability to go invisible, Reed Richards' ability to stretch, Johnny Storm's ability to become really hot and turn into fire, or Ben Grimm's ability to become a massive, ugly beast. The 5th, Dr. Doom, decides he's going to use his ability of turning into metal to cause mayhem.
Thanks, Ken. That's all we have for the show tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Katie Bosdorf.
And I'm Joe Huber. You keep it real, Ball State.